ninjas, welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat. Today I'm going to take you through a quick total body feel good flow. This is the perfect flow to do if you have some sore muscles that you want to just stretch out and just feel better. Let's just get into it. So we're going to begin in hero pose. If you like, you can be in a cross-legged position, whatever feels best for you. We'll inhale our hands to the sky, and we're actually going to grab onto our left wrist with our right hand, and on your next exhale, just lean over to the right, pulling on that wrist. I had somebody request in my comments to stretch out the lats and target that serratus anterior muscle. So we're going to do that a little bit today, but we're really going to touch on the whole body. Inhale back to center and then switch your grips. So left hand around that right wrist and exhaling over to the left, pulling on that wrist. Really expanding that side body with your breath. And come back to center. Let's just bring our hands down for a second and we'll inhale them back up. Exhale, twisting over to your right, putting your left hand on your right knee and looking over that right shoulder. Inhaling back to center, exhaling, going to the other side. And come back to center. From here, we're gonna go into cow face arms. So we'll bring our arms out to a T. We'll take our right arm, bring it up, and then bend at the elbow, reaching in between your shoulder blades. Then take your other hand, turn that palm backwards and reach behind and up in between your shoulder blade. In an ideal world, you can clasp your hands together, but I can't do that, and that's okay if you can't either. If you like, you can use a strap. You can just reach, which is what I do, right? I just reach, trying to reach my fingers together. If you can't do that, if you have a strap available to you, you can grab the top and bottom hands and just crawl your fingers together and just try to get closer every time that you do this stretch. But if you don't have a strap at home, that's okay. Sometimes I use like a robe tie or a belt or something. And release. We'll bring our arms out into a T. Reset those shoulders and come back down, and we'll go to the other side. So left arm up, bending the elbow to reach between the shoulder blades, and right palm backwards, reaching behind and up in between those shoulder blades. And release those arms out to a T, bring them up at the top and then down to your side. Get rid of that strap. From here, we'll do some shoulder rolls. So nice big shoulder roll going up to your ears and then down, going backwards. And then we'll change directions going forwards. All right, we'll tuck our chin to our chest. Stretching out the back of that neck. And then bring your chin up to the sky. Come back to center. Bring your right hand to the mat beside you and then tip your head over to the left. And release and go to the other side. And release, and then we're just gonna roll our neck all the way, going both directions. All right. We'll go into our 90-90 stretch, or some people call it fallen deer. So we'll take our right leg and just bring it parallel in front of us, almost as if we're doing pigeon pose. And our left foot, instead of being straight out behind us, it's gonna be at a 90-degree angle here. Okay, so from here we'll inhale, and then exhale, hinging forward at the hips and coming down to your elbows. You can go further, all the way down to your forehead. You can take that if you like. This is a great one to do if you have any like sciatica pain or pinch in your butt cheek. I've been dealing with a pinch in my butt cheek, and this is like one of my go-to stretches. Really is great to open at the hips too. And then lift up, and we're just gonna lean back on that right elbow. And that just changes up where the stretch is happening. Now we're gonna feel it in our left groin. And lift back up, and we'll just switch our legs. So bringing our left leg parallel and our right leg at that 90-degree angle beside us. Take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, hinging forward at the hips. For me, this is my least flexible side, so I have a little more trouble getting into this pose. So if you find yourself struggling too, don't worry about it. Just something to work on. I always say we're all a work in progress. Nobody's perfect. Okay, to quote James Walsh, if you don't know who he is, it's fine. If you do know who he is, we friends. But anyways, to quote him, he always says that perfection doesn't exist, and it's true. It's true. Progression is what matters. All right, and we'll lean back on that left elbow. Oh gosh, I have to adjust my space here. And release the pose. We'll come up and move into child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes touching, melting our hips down to our heels. And then bringing that forehead to the mat, extending those arms out in front of us. This is another great one for the lats. So the deeper that you reach your hands, the deeper the stretch will be for your lats. It's not just about the hips. And we'll take our palms together and bring them behind our head. And you'll just feel that stretch change. And release, lift up out of child's pose. We'll bring our knees together, stacking our hips over top of those knees, shoulders over top of those wrists, and go into cat-cow. Inhaling, dropping our belly, lifting our tailbone and our chin. And exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking our chin to our chest. And then using your breath as a guide for your movements. I think I do cat-cow almost every flow, not every time, but a lot. It's one of my favorites to get the spine moving, especially if you have like a sore back. We'll do one more cycle. And you can come up onto your knees into a standing position. If you need to turn towards the wide side of your mat, you can go ahead and do that. And we'll take our right leg and just straighten it beside us. Toes are gonna face straight forwards, or towards the wide part of your mat, I should say. We'll inhale those hands to the sky. Exhale, bending over that straight leg. Getting a nice stretch in that side body. And on your next exhale, we'll bring that left hand to the mat and just extend that right arm overhead, just changing where that stretch is happening. You're gonna feel that on your right side now. From here, we're gonna pick up our left foot and just turn it towards our right foot. So now our knee is pointing the short side of our mat. And from here, we're gonna pick up that right leg, grab onto the front of that foot, and just kick your heel into your hand, and you'll feel a nice quad stretch. And release, and we'll go to the other side. Straighten your left leg, toe facing the wide part of your mat. Inhale those hands to the sky, and exhale, leaning over that straight leg. And we'll come up, bringing that right hand to the mat, extending our left arm overhead, reaching, really reaching forward. And pick up that right foot, windshield wiper that knees. Your toes are facing your left foot. Lift up that left leg, reach back with that left hand, grab onto that foot and kick into that hand, and stretch out that quad. And release. From here, we're gonna go into a runner's lunge. So bring that right foot in between your hands. We're really just gonna sink our hips into this stretch. You might see that your knee is going over top of your toes, and that's okay for now because we're actually gonna think about stretching the calf out. And we're gonna straighten that leg. If you need to adjust your bent knee here just to make sure that your hips are stacked over top of it, you can go ahead and do that. I like to do a little shimmy as I'm getting into the straight leg position. And you can release and we'll go to the other side. So we'll bring our left foot in between our hands and just sink into those hips. If you want to come up and bring your hands on your knees so you can really focus on sinking into those hips. If you want to focus again on that calf, just bring your foot heel a little bit closer to you and bring that knee over top of those toes. Whatever you feel like you need today. And straighten that leg, and you'll see I'm shimmying my back knee back just so I can make sure the hip is stacked over top of that knee. And release the stretch. From here, we'll just press into downward facing dog. If you want to take a quick second here to pedal out your feet or just melt your heels to the mat, you can do that. And then when you're ready, we'll crawl our hands towards our feet and just hang out in forward fold. So think about relaxing your neck in between your biceps. And if you want to get a swaying motion or nod your head yes, or shake your head no, just to release any tension you might be feeling in your hamstrings or neck. You are free to do that. Bend those knees, raise those hands into the sky, taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale, baby back bend. Just gonna turn to face you. Inhale those hands to center, interlock your fingers, turn those palms out. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Inhaling back to center and exhaling, going to the left. Back to center, release those hands to your side. And that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Always happy to have you guys here. If you like this video, give me a like if you want. If you want to subscribe, I would love to have you in my little dojo. Doing things like liking and subscribing helps me out a lot, more than you think. And I have goals. I have goals. I'm working towards something. And just doing those little things helps me out so much. So thanks again. I will see you guys next time. Oops. Hey guys, Editing Cat here. If you made it through that video, you will have noticed that I was more muddled and all over the place. Right before I filmed this video, I sustained a concussion, and I didn't think that it had affected me that much, so I thought filming would be no problem, but I had to edit out like almost 10 minutes of stuff there because I kept getting confused with my cues, and it was just a mess. So if you made it through, you the real MVP. Now I know not only, one, to keep my hands up so I don't get kicked in the head again, but also maybe when I get a concussion, I don't film that week. Watching that was a reminder that I have to take care of myself too. So thank you so much for watching that and bearing with me. The next video will be better. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.